Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kind of hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Now! Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Welcome to Alternate. We're discovering good movies, one bad movie at a time. I'm film school dropout Robert Jarsinski. Across from me is our casual moviegoer Carrie Jarsinski and our very own critic in residence Tim Brayton, with Life of the Party flunking its way into theaters.
Probably. I think that. Well, I don't know. It's a Melissa McCarthy. They tend to do very well.
Yeah, it's also Carrie's one of her top 5 anticipated.
It surely
movies. Very
is.
surprising.
It surely is.
So hopefully not flunking for you, Carrie. You're going to be giving it a solid A+.
People are going to love it.
Well, either way, we're looking at our top 5 mother-daughter movies. But Carrie, you being here, I think, is a momentous thing just onto itself.
Because you are both a mother and a daughter. So it's like,
Very true.
like thematically appropriate.
That's one thing. The other thing is, a year ago today, you missed our episode by being...
You're going to bring that up,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm going to bring it up.
People have forgotten.
Kentucky Derby time. Had 2 mint juleps too many. And did not arrive in time to podcast with us. But here
Appreciate
today.
That you're bringing that up.
You were napping when I left you to go pick up Tim.
We redid the Kentucky Derby again today.
All right.
And
were you one of the jockeys?
No, I don't think I have the stature for it. They're so small.
They're tiny
They're
people.
very small. I wish I could be a jockey or whatever they are.
Jerky?
A jerky. This isn't to say that I didn't have some things to drink throughout the course of this day, so this will make
Well,
for
you
an interesting episode.
you decided against the julep.
I did, but I'm decidedly more sober than I was last Kentucky Derby
or
now.
last week, it appears.
Or last week.
Yeah.
Well, also Cinco de Mayo, so we opted for some margaritas. Just as strong.
Yeah, I highly don't recommend when you go to a party, when you see somebody offers you a margarita and then the packaging is an unlabeled bottle that just says margarita in Sharpie. Like, I highly recommend...
bootleg margarita. That's my favorite kind of margarita.
It was so good, but then you're like, what is in this and why is it so strong?
Probably mezcal.
You came back. Did a bird fly into your hair? I see something that you've brought back with you.
This is my pompadour.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got a very like fashionable lady of the 40s sort of veil and lace in a like wire matrix situation on top of your head right now.
I'll share some pictures of it later. I purchased this recently and I decided that it's the best I've ever felt about.
So you just wear it constantly?
All the time.
Do you shower in it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I did wear it through the Richmond airport and people kept kind of snickering at me.
Well, in Richmond, that's how they wear things.
That's true. Yeah. So I plan to wear this every episode now. It's not actually, what's it called? It's not a Flownator. It's a Fascinator.
Yeah.
Takes me a while to get there.
Flownator sounds like something that you would ingest
weirder.
when you have a cold.
Yeah, it's not a Flownator. It's definitely a Fascinator, and I'm wearing it every day.
I love about it because like we're talking about movies and it makes you look like an old gossip columnist, like Hedda Hopper or some such.
Is that a good thing?
I mean, it depends if you like Hedda Hopper or if you're one of the many people that she ruined the career of with her poison pen. Do you have a poison pen?
Don't do that to us, Care.
I won't. As long as I look good, that's all I care about right now.
Well, let's get to some movies with our Worth Mentioning segment. What is the Worth Mentioning segment of the movies we've seen since the last episode? Which are the ones we want to talk about most? They could be great movies. They could be terrible. We share them either way. Care, how many movies since the last episode?
Just the Deuce. This week.
The TV show?
Is that another
Or
one?
you're saying that the movie you saw was just complete shit?
I saw, it was okay. I saw Kodachrome.
Okay.
Oh, the Netflix picture with like several interesting people in it, right?
Weird. So here's another question. Remember when I asked you when we watched Logan if Logan was really that old? And I was very sad and you guys were like, don't worry, they aged him. Okay. Remember that?
You mean Hugh Jackman?
No, yeah. The Wolfman or whatever. So anyway.
So many things wrong.
So Ed Harris is in this.
Mm-hmm.
Looking
He is
super
that old.
old. Is he? That's very upsetting because he looks real old in this movie. So anyway, this has Ed Harris. Jason Sudeikis is in this. Kodachrome. I know I said that before, but it was 2017. It's directed by Mark Rosso and written by A.G. Sulzberger. Anyway, so it's him. Elizabeth Olsen is this, the younger of the Olsen twins sisters.
She is
also
the
the
younger sister
Fireball
of the
from
twins.
Avengers.
Also
Fireballer.
Fireball girl.
Then Bruce Greenwood from the fame of that one where he gets murdered in bed, right?
Sure. What on earth?
We could say that that's what he's famous for, but that would be sad for him.
Yeah.
The Stephen King movie that could never be made. I can't. The
You know
novel
where they
novel
get-
that was
right.
made. Can't think of the name.
That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tim will think about it while
Well, he's also he's
Double Jeopardy.
He's one of the Kennedy brothers. I don't remember if he's Bobby or Jack. He's in 13 Days. I think he's Jack.
Interesting.
That's right.
All
He was in
very
Double. He was
inconsequential.
Jeopardy.
He's also in the Star Treks.
Sure. So very small part. I don't even actually know why I said his name. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit about the movie. So this man and his estranged father are reunited because his dad's really sick. So Ed Harris, real sick, not going to make it. You find that really early on. And he goes out.
Is it a really funny movie like The Royal Tenenbaums?
I don't think I saw that one.
Because that's the same plot.
No, it's not really that funny. Jason Sudeikis tries to make it a little funny.
He makes funny movies.
He
I like
does.
Jason Sudeikis in
His
funny
humor
movies.
and timing kept me. That's actually kicked it up a notch. Like his humor in this is actually really good. But they go out on this road trip, and then his dad at Harris is a photographer, and he wants to go out and get this film that's never going to be able to develop ever again at the last place in Kansas or some weird place to get this film developed. And it's
Sounds like a pretty wacky road trip.
It's not. I don't
Sounds
know.
like it. I kind. It's got like goofy. It's got like that quirky hipster like photography thing going on.
Yeah,
I like it.
I feel like you're mocking me a little
No,
bit.
I'm
Are you?
mocking the
Oh,
movie.
you're laughing at the hat still, aren't
No,
you?
I'm mocking the movie.
So it's not. So here's why I recommend it. It's Netflix, so it's free. If you can catch it and it's streaming, it's definitely one that's worth it for free. Would I have paid for this or been happy that I paid for this? No, but it's definitely not one that's worth skipping via Netflix, if that makes any sense at all.
Sounds pretty great. Like a nice, upbeat, laugh out loud
Death
sort of
movie.
comedy. I'm excited. I can't wait to go home and
Interesting.
see this as a pick me.
I haven't heard anything
Rob
about this.
would actually probably like
I've been
it.
avoiding the Netflix
I know you
original,
have.
So.
I think this is one of the
The
better
ones
of
that
them.
aren't genre films are generally getting better notices than the ones that are genre films.
Yeah, so that's the one I caught.
Tim, how about you? How many movies?
None.
What?
None movies. I haven't seen any movies.
Oh, in a week?
In a week.
In a whole week?
In a whole
I thought
7
you saw
days.
Avengers. Oh, that was last
That
week.
was before we recorded.
You haven't even watched like a home video?
So what do
or
we do
anything?
now? Do we just?
I watched some student films. So
Any good ones
well,
worth
I
mentioning?
can't talk about student films.
Oh, okay.
That's my job. No, it's the end of semester. It's been a
Busy.
crazy time, so I've watched 0 films. But I will come through anyway with the exciting news that this weekend, May 5th, 2018, see it while it's around because who knows how long it'll be on Netflix, but they have started streaming Anya Svarda and JR's Faces, Places, the documentary that was my number 2 film of 2017. So I love it. It's a great movie. That is a movie that'll make you feel good because you'll see this old lady be rejuvenated and filled with like this sort of youthful enthusiasm. Faces, Places, now streaming on Netflix. Really great film if you haven't seen it.
I thought she was like questioning the meaning of life in that because she's
But
like
in a
nearing
chipper,
death.
upbeat way.
Oh, okay. All right.
I feel like we should catch this, Carrie, especially now that's not. No,
I saw it was coming to Netflix and I
Okay.
was a little nervous based on Tim's original synopses, but I'll push through and try
You
it.
should see it. It's very good.
All right.
Well,
What
I
do you see?
had a business trip, so I had a chance to download and squeeze in a couple of Amazon Prime movies. So I downloaded Imperium,
Oh,
little Nazi movie,
gotta love those Nazi
undercover
movies.
Nazi.
Okay.
Gotta love having people watching a Nazi movie on the
I
plane.
made sure to save that one for the hotel. I'm very careful these days. I finally caught up with Marjorie Prime, Tim.
What did you think?
Yeah, middle of the road for me. Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was like a
You like that one?
I liked it a lot. It was
like
my,
a
it was
really
my top
long
20 last year.
Black Mirror episode, which is
It
fine.
is.
You could
very
do much
very
worse.
well acted.
Yes,
Black Mirror
and
episode.
John Hamm. I
John Hamm,
really
Gina Davis,
enjoyed.
Lois Smith, Tim Robbins, really good cast.
What's it about?
Tim Robbins too. Woman loses her she's fighting like dementia or losing her memory, and they
order basically a holographic representation of her husband.
Oh, they did that in Black Mirror.
It is in fact a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
So well done. A little long and kind of goes a couple different places. So
Is it like interactive hologram? You know what I'm saying?
No, it is not one of those movies,
No.
Gare. Not
Oh, okay.
virtual POV porn like
All
I know
right.
you like to download on the old Pornhub.
Especially with John Hamm, right?
I would watch it.
Also caught Allied, which was one I missed, and I'm okay having not
it's
caught
one
it in
of
theaters.
Zemeckis' weakest films.
Yeah, really long, and I mean, it does some interesting things.
It does have some nice costumes.
Very nice costumes.
For which it was Oscar nominated.
Picks up a little bit in the middle. I got more interested once I kind of knew what was happening, and the intrigue was there a little bit. But it has some twists and turns. But yeah, overall, I didn't really want to talk about any of them at great length.
And yet
you've talked about all three of them.
And I have talked about all three.
What do you tell people? Run out and go see. None of those.
No, I think everybody's okay. Like, yeah, if nothing else is better, catches your interest, then. Yeah, I guess throw any one of those three on. The Daniel Radcliffe Imperium one was fine as well.
Oh, it's Daniel Radcliff versus Nazis.
Yes.
Okay, well, you didn't say that.
Undercover Daniel Radcliffe.
Harry Potter versus Nazis.
Harry Potter
is an
undercover.
Easy sell.
Yes. So, I mean, they're all okay. I think I pretty much gave all of them around 3 stars. But those are sometimes for me the worst movie because it just doesn't do anything for you. I'd rather it be super terrible so I can bring to this, or really great. And these were just middle of the road.
Neither did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
Remember, you can find more details about all the movies we've watched at our website, alternateending.com. That's alternateending.com. Before we head to our break, you might be wondering about ways to support the show. You might want access to exclusive content, make us watch a movie, pick your own episode topic. You can do it all from our Patreon page, just like many of you have done on our recent fundraiser, which is going very well.
Thank you very much for not running away screaming when we begged you for money.
And we're not closing it out. Obviously, there's still opportunities to help us support the show with Patreon. In fact, many folks are continuing to donate, and we appreciate that, trying to get us to the next level. We're looking to bring a members corner to the website, also looking to add some contributors, maybe do some video, adding a little video to the show, bringing us into the 21st century.
Speaking of POV porn.
I don't actually know what POV porn is. You keep saying that.
Point of view, camera.
What does that even mean?
It's pornography in which the individual, generally the woman, but does
you doing it yourself?
Is like looking into the camera lens, so it's like this person is servicing you personally.
We get enough donators, we'll bring it to the table.
I don't even know. Like one-on-one porn.
Right.
Right?
I don't know what that is.
It's like, remember back in the 80s, you could like order LPs with your child's name, and it would be like, happy birthday, Carrie. Yeah. It's like that, but for porn. So you'll see the porn actor being like, oh yeah, oh God, I want to fuck you so hard, Carrie. I want to fuck you so hard. That is basically what we're talking about.
I could get this. So you have to pay. No, they don't.
Just make all of that up.
Is this true?
None
of that is true. She got very excited.
Just imagine a GoPro on someone's head while making love. I call it making love.
We'll show it to you on the break.
That's different. That's different. Like Bang Bus kind of stuff.
Nice reference.
Thanks.
Well, picking up one of our Razzie Awards this is last week, Stevie T entitling them to this very here shout out, preempted by the Bang Bus.
I'm so sorry. Wait,
sorry.
Call like break. Now break from that, and then let's. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stevie T.
Stevie
very
T.
much,
We
Stevie
also
T.
This is very surprising, probably the most we've had purchased in one time. 3 folks snagged our Sundance Grand Jury Prize. Excuse me. Thank you, Jason Dola, Philip Weiss, Stephen Schwartz, all entitling them to selecting a movie for Carrie and I to watch.
I just want to point out that is Philip Weiss.
Oh, Weiss.
Weiss, and
thank you.
He lived in the same dorm.
That's
you,
right.
Although not necessarily the same time that you did.
But so. I'm pronouncing it in the German way.
Well, he does not. Thank you, Phil, and thank you other people as well. Sorry, I know Phil personally.
Only three of those left.
How many names have you mispronounced?
Every
no
name.
one ever writes and tells you that.
No, that's because I'm pronouncing them the correct way.
Okay.
Yes.
Except
I don't anticipate that to change.
Philip or a Phil?
He's a Phil. Well, he's a Philip professionally, but
yeah. Thanks, Phil.
I never call him a Philip.
Also, I want to thank all of our listeners who support the show and make their Amazon purchases through our site. Doing is easy. Just go to our website, alternateending.com, click on our Amazon banner, and seamlessly go about your purchases. All proceeds go to making our show better. Since our last episode, here are the things that were purchased. Some tools and hardware. Had a little gorilla epoxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When you need to glue your gorillas together.
Thank you, Tim.
Just,
I appreciate you going there.
Sometimes they're going to go running around and you're like, no, gorillas, you got to sit your ass down.
Together.
Just epoxy them right there on the log.
I think it's epoxy. Can't epoxy them. Mm-hmm, keep going.
Mm-hmm. I had some Tac Life cordless screwdriver purchased. A little torque, 4 nanometers of 3-position rechargeable. I don't know what any of these. 31 bits. 31 screwdriver
There's
bits.
just so many different points where one could interject a sex joke that I can't even make one. I'm just kind of getting
You're overwhelmed, yeah.
It has a flashlight. It's like for the dark. as well.
For your
Some
POV.
Greenie's dental dog treats. You gotta keep your animals' teeth clean.
Yes, you do.
Just do anything like that with cats?
No. I mean, you could presumably, but
Their teeth
You
just stay
cared about
clean.
your
huh?
cat.
generally speaking, cats usually don't eat the same amount of like crap that dogs do, so their teeth stay better longer. Generally, I mean, they're still like they'll fall out. But
I don't know if this is still popular. I haven't seen many around lately. The Nalgene wide mouth water bottles.
Oh, yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
replacement
they're
loop
trendy.
cap.
yeah,
Someone lost their cap.
the kids still drink out of their Nalgenes in class.
Okay, thought that had passed.
I
hipster
gotta be
thing.
like,
I
you
think
kids, don't bring your damn Nalgenes and your
thought people
damn
were
Twitters,
doing-
but they bring their damn Nalgenes in their Twitters.
People doing the nipple bottles now.
No,
Felt like that
it's
was the
just
that's
you.
That's just me.
That's
Hate the
just
nipple bottle.
you.
Ugh.
I was literally not even aware this was something on the market.
We'll show you. We'll show you
like
that
a,
later.
like a baby bottle for
Basically.
for a grown up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
that's what
you have
it
to
is.
bite it first.
You have to bite it.
And then
Well, my little.
This is
That's
our
an
dirtiest
atonement.
ever episode.
more than the sexual episode. Yeah.
Well, the sex episode was never going to be dirty because we were talking about sex.
True.
Now we're like trying to make things that aren't sexy.
I think you guys are. I'm just
am.
trying to get the facts.
We got a little Pentel RSVP ballpoint pen, 8-pack.
All right.
Kindle ebook, The Terror, a novel.
Oh, is that the one that's being made into that TV show about like people getting
Yes.
eaten by monsters in the
Yep.
Antarctic?
You
or
would
something
know.
Like that?
I
Yep,
do not read.
That's the one.
I also had a thin comforter, which we could have used, Care. You bought the thickest comforter for us right before
It's a little
summertime.
warm. It's a little warm.
hot, a little
Yeah.
on the hot side. Rescue 3-year data recovery plan for external hard drives. Tim, you could have used that when you lost all of your.
surely could
all
have
of
Did your
used that.
computer back? I forgot to ask.
Well, the computer is being tinkered with, and the new computer will be showing up in like a week.
Okay.
Along with that, a Seagate expansion 2 terabyte portable external hard drive with a USB 3.0.
Well, if I didn't know better, I'd say that somebody who is involved with this website just recently had to buy a hard drive and got a plan for it because they were like, "Fuck me, my laptop just died. I can't let that happen."
I
again."
can't let a Brayton
And,
happen to me.
I'm finally glad that this was me.
Oh, this was
That's-
you.
That's my drive. I'm glad that something I bought finally showed up. Probably because I had to use my fucking spare computer. It finally showed up on our Amazon. You're welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you for your purchase, Tim.
Some Amazon Instant Videos, The Vietnam War, filmed by Ken Burns and Lynn Novick, Season 1. Had A Good Place, Season 2. We
Oh, yeah.
caught a couple episodes of that.
That's
That's
with
all right.
Veronica Mars and Ted Danson.
One of them is an actor's name, and one of them is the actual.
I like to assume that she's playing Veronica Mars and Ted Danson is himself.
It
Okay.
makes the show better.
We had Rambo 3 on Amazon Instant Video.
Okay.
Solid.
Is it?
Nah, but, appreciate
Someone
it.
wanted to see it.
appreciate the purchase.
Someone decided that we would be the people graced with that $2.
That's one where it's like, it's fun to watch because it's so good. It's so bad, it's good. Maybe. No?
Sure.
I like
Sure.
I like all Rambos.
Okay.
Toy Story, made
All right.
up for it. Ratatouille, made up for it. And Cat People.
Oh, nice.
Not familiar with that.
That is, well, it's either an excellent film from the 1940s or that film's remake from the 1980s that I have not seen, which has an excellent theme song.
Ton of Blu-rays as well. Daughter of the Nile on Blu-ray. Once Upon a Time in America.
All right.
The Passion of Joan of Arc. Yeah.
Yep.
Tim's
Is that
favorite
also
movie
you?
of all
Did you
time.
buy it
I
again?
do not own that movie on
Did
Blu-ray.
you need another copy?
No.
But you did.
God damn it.
The 2-disc special edition Bloodthirsty Trilogy. And
Right.
Late Spring, also a Criterion collection.
Oh, the Ozu picture.
Well, that's all we have. Thank you for all your purchases. When we get back, our top 5 mother-daughter movies. And welcome back to Alternating. We're talking about our top 5 mother-daughter movies, which I feel, Tim, you and I are in a very unique position to be talking about this since we're neither a mother nor a daughter, but here we are.
I think that is a unique position held by 49.5%
Yeah.
of the American population.
So I'm glad we're representing here.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Because there aren't enough men on podcasts.
It makes me very curious
we'll-
to see what you're going to come up with.
Well, we'll turn to you, Kara, then, as a mother
I am
and
a
a
mother
daughter.
and a
What
daughter.
did you? How did you come about this list? What did you end up doing to cull
Pretty
down your
straightforward.
list?
Pretty
Okay.
straightforward. So I tried to. We already did top 5 moms, right?
We did.
And so tried to sort of stay away from that category a bit. And obviously, mother-daughter movies are movies that you should always experience with your children.
So they didn't have to have a mother and a daughter
No.
in it for you.
You had to, it's a movie that every mother should see with her daughter.
Okay.
As well as, I even took it up a notch, a movie that you specifically would not want to see with your father.
Interesting.
So like a movie about menstruation.
Yes. Or like anything with like a protrusion, like a man protrusion.
So these are basically all the movies that you get horned up by and you want one day for your daughters to get horned up by.
That is absolutely not this list at all. So I actually broke it down by different genres of your life. Childhood through adulthood in different categories, and picked each movie that you should see with your mom at each stage of
that's
life.
kind of fun.
This is I'm excited about this list.
Yeah, so it's not in any.
And these are critical that you have to see them.
So it's not necessarily like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but more by.
It's youngest to oldest.
Okay.
Okay. Very interesting. How about you, Tim?
You know, I had a bit. I was going to do a whole bit about like mother-daughter, like mother, anything hyphen anything else always like sounds like a porn title. So I was going to do a whole bit about it.
And then it was going to get weird because that was sentimental, right?
Because then you were sentimental and you have like a really
Yeah.
good idea. And then we spent like the last 40 minutes talking about porn. So I don't have the heart to do it anymore. For me, these are my 5 favorite movies that dramatize something about a relationship between a mother and a daughter that has to be central to the film. Like it can't be like there's a mother and daughter in it. That has to be what the film is fueled by. And it has to like in some way, shape or form tell us something about that relationship, why it is good, or in most of my examples, why it is very, very unhealthy. And I ranked them in order of how good I think they are at doing that.
Okay. Very different.
I went exactly with Tim. And you know, Tim, I don't know if you ran into this problem. I had a little trouble coming up with in my mind, like not a deep well of like movies.
Oh, I found that not to be the problem.
Where it's central, like where the mother-daughter relationship is central to the movie.
It's a classic melodramatic setup.
Maybe I just don't think there's enough good ones.
Maybe,
but I came up with the list.
Don't like movies about women.
Yeah,
because you are sexist.
It could be. That could be a possibility.
Rob actually identifies mostly with moms. Rob's our mom in our house. He makes sure the kids are all like clean and fed. So maybe you'll identify with this category, Rob.
Yeah, we'll see. How about you, Carrie? Number 5.
Oh, number 5. Okay, we're just jumping in. So, let me back up too. This is I will break it down by the age in which you should watch this with your mother.
Are there
the child?
Are there any movies in your list that feature a mother and a daughter?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. So the first one is the one that you have to watch with your mom when you're in elementary school, maybe, depending on your upbringing, when you want to learn about the birds and the bees.
All right. So you
that's
do
the
have
one.
some pornography.
This is the closest to porno I ever got in my whole life until I was like in college. And this is 1989's Look Who's Talking.
All right.
Right?
Oh my God.
Right?
I know exactly what you're referring to when you're referring to pornography, for what it's
So,
worth.
did you even know what was happening in the beginning of this movie?
Clue.
No clue.
I literally thought that he was like kissing a baby into her.
There's that scene. So let me for everyone who hasn't seen Look Who's Talking, let me back it up a notch. So this is directed and written by Amy Heckerling. It's John Travolta, Kirstie Alley's in this, George Segal. I don't know if you remember him being in there too.
When does one ever remember George Segal doing anything?
No. So a woman played by Kirstie Alley goes out. She has this affair with a married man, and then she has a baby. But she becomes a single mom from the start, and then it's up to the baby, who's named Mikey, to find her the perfect man. And here's why this movie is so critical to the upbringing of what age do you learn about the birds and the bees? I don't even know. I was I
don't know, 11, 12, something like that.
17, 18? I don't know.
36
I just told Abby about it.
I'm hoping before my next birthday.
Yeah. So in the beginning of this movie, this opened up so many questions. There's when they exchange, when the baby is being formed, you see the tadpole-like structures. Do you remember this?
Yes. Oh, clearly.
Streaming towards the cells.
Sperm traveling towards the egg.
Well, thank you, Dr.
It's
Science.
like the worst word. It's like in my top
word?
20.
Which word? Sperm or eggs?
Oh,
I thought
S-word.
you liked scientific.
No.
You would
no,
have.
S, yeah.
You would collapse if you tried to read Moby Dick.
Oh, yeah. See, but that's okay.
Because it's a different kind of sperm.
No, I meant dick.
Oh, no, I meant he's a sperm whale.
Oh, yeah. See, no.
But
no,
it doesn't mean
either.
sperm.
So anyway, you see this whole thing transpire and how the baby's made. Opened up all kinds of questions. Got to watch this with your mom when you're young. So you can be like, hey, Mom, what's the tadpole situation? And she can be like, that's actually a baby being made.
You were so confident walking down to the podcast room with your list.
This is my elementary school have to watch it with your mom situation.
This is the movie you have to watch because of that opening sperm scene with
How else are you going to find out about the birds and the bees if you don't watch Look Who's Talking?
I feel like Carrie is by far going to have the most interesting list, and it will certainly be better than yours.
But not on either
true.
of your lists?
My number 5 is pretty weak, but
Good
we'll get
Lord,
there.
no. It has nothing whatsoever to do with mothers and daughters. This makes no sense whatsoever.
Got to watch it with your mom. If you're out there and you're wondering about how to tell your kids about where babies come from, watch Look Who's Talking.
So only applicable to moms and daughters.
Never would watch this with my dad, ever.
No, but like a young boy wouldn't benefit from knowing about this.
Boys don't need to find out. It'll just happen, you know.
Yeah, just cash.
They,
keep it
they
cash.
will. They will lay a trail of pregnant women in their wake. It's
Absolutely.
It's no big deal.
Yeah. So what's your number 5? That's better than that.
My number 5 is a movie actually about the relationship between a mother and a daughter, based on one of real life's most famous mother-daughter relationships. This is Postcards from the Edge, 1990 film directed by Mike Nichols, written by Carrie Fisher and based on her novel. And it's more or less the story of Carrie Fisher and her mom, Debbie Reynolds, two very prominent women in Hollywood in different capacities, with a cantankerous on and off. Sometimes it's super positive. Sometimes it's sort of very like mutually destructive relationship. So the movie stars Meryl Streep and Shirley MacLaine as the thinly veiled analogs for Fisher and Reynolds. And it's, have either of you seen this movie?
Say it again. Letters. What
Postcards from the Edge.
No.
Postcards from the Edge.
Excellent movie. It's one of Mike Nichols' best films. It's one of Meryl Streep's Oscar nominations, if I'm not mistaken. And it's basically, so Meryl Streep is an actress trying to recover from a drug addiction. And so she ends up like moving back in with her mother.
Yeah.
Who is the woman who like kind of got her on the trail of
Who plays her mom again?
Shirley MacLaine.
Shirley. Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like she moves back in with her mother. They have a very fraught relationship. That's part of why Susan.
Aren't they similar in
Suzanne-
age?
No.
Shirley MacLaine and her? No.
They're like 20 years apart.
Oh, they are.
They're probably too close to be a mother and daughter. But yeah, so it's just like this like 2 generations of Hollywood, very, very tense relationship, but they sort of thrive under it anyway. Really terrifically funny movie. It's the best thing Carrie Fisher ever wrote, as far as I'm concerned. Just a sharp screenplay. I think I'm on record as saying that I like Meryl Streep's performances in comedies a lot better than her performances in dramas, and this is one of her very best performances in a comedy. It's just really focused, and like they make the characters seem kind of horrible without making them unlovable. And even though it's very clear why they have such this destructive relationship with each other, we still really want them to like patch things up because it's clear that they need each other. And that's kind of like what I'm looking for, is like something where we have the sense of like, oh, the mother-daughter relationship here is really, it's strong and it's necessary, even if it's hard work. And I think that's like absolutely over every inch of this movie.
Postcards
from the Edge.
I'm a little angry that I haven't seen this. I think this one would have certainly.
I'm a little surprised neither of you have seen it. It's a classic.
You're not gonna be feel very happy with my pick
because you're taking one of mine.
No, I'm not feeling very.
Don't take my teenage years. Don't take my high school pick.
I like I said, I struggled finding something. Like I haven't seen Postcards from the Edge, so I went with. I just was trying to think of mother-daughters and movies that I like.
Did you have a hard time distinguishing moms?
No, this
just
was
moms.
One. This one follows a divorced mom and her diabetic daughter who take refuge. They take refuge in a personal home safe room, otherwise known as a panic room.
Oh,
okay.
I enjoy Panic Room. Have you seen Panic Room?
No.
I would like to challenge this inclusion on a top 5 list on 2 counts. 1, mother-daughter is sketchy. 2, it's bad.
How is it? What? It's Jodie Foster playing Meg.
Well, it has a mother and daughter in it.
Yeah, it's a mother-daughter.
I guess it's about.
She's
that.
trying to protect her daughter.
She's trying to protect her daughter. I follow.
I thought you were going to say take refuge in a hair salon. Keep going.
No. Oh, I know where
Keep
some
going.
of your future movie picks are going to be. No, it's a great action movie. I enjoyed watching it, and the relationship between. I thought it was great casting.
Who's Jodie's kid?
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
They
Who's
look
that?
Twilight.
Oh, Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart.
Kristen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kristen.
I don't know how you say her name. Twilight.
Ms.
Twilight.
Stewart.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kristen.
K-Stu. It's K-Stu.
K-Stu.
So this came out semi-recently then.
2002.
Oh.
She's a
6 years
child.
ago.
She's like 10.
Okay.
I think it might have been her first film.
I believe so.
Is it?
Great casting, don't you think? Jodie Foster, Kristen
Yeah,
Stewart.
they're both kind of,
Lesbians?
Sure.
yeah, it's genetic,
Yes, clearly.
So it's good though.
So they
You
buy
think it's good.
they buy this home, and
It has a panic
and
room.
it has a pack room, and then unbeknownst to them, there's something of value within the home, and people break in to try to procure that, and they lock themselves into the panic room, and Jodie Foster kicks ass.
It's
Oh,
who are
of
the,
course.
it's Jared Leto, Forrest Whitaker, and who's the third?
Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah. So
They're all breaking in.
They're all
Yes.
breaking in, and Jodie Foster
Takes them all down.
Kristen Stewart they have to fight back a little bit,
Okay.
work together, mother-daughter,
All right.
united.
I bet.
I would watch this movie
I just
based
don't
on
like
what
the
you're
film.
saying.
It's a David Fincher
Yeah,
thriller.
I should have said David Fincher. So for me, he does no wrong.
All right.
So that was me, number 5.
All right. Number 4 takes me to, hang on. How old are you when you get to my number 4? Here's where you come to middle school. Got to be around like 12 or so to watch this with your kids. What movie do you think?
Well, I'm just saying that's
Oh.
the point in life that we're at. So this is going to raise some questions as well.
Yeah, this is one. Highly recommend watching with your kids. This answers everything that you should do in an entire summer with your 4 friends.
So you've just learned about sex, and
Yep.
now you're going to apply it to what to
now
do.
you're
in
gonna
summer
no,
with
you're
your
not
4
going to do
girlfriends.
anything about it. You're just going to think about it a lot when you get to
I know
this
what this
stage.
is.
What is it?
Now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's so good. Have you seen this?
I've never seen this.
I love this movie. So this is Now and Then. It's from 1995. Watch it with your 12-year-old. And you know what? Even if you're like me and you didn't get what the whole thing that happened in Look Who's Talking was, and you were a little confused by it, there's another explanation that happens in this movie with a watering can and a hose situation, like watering a flower that happens, much more clear for me. I feel like
I feel like if your sex education involved watering cans and flowers, it's amazing to me you have 2 children.
This is why Carrie asked me for golden showers all the time. Like this is.
I know what that is.
Why is this our dirtiest episode? It's about mom.
Hey man, I'm old now and I've made it through these other movies, so now I know what you're talking about, sicko. So anyway, I would never, ever, ever in my life recommend missing this movie. So it's directed by Leslie Linka Glatter and written by L. Marlene King.
And Leslie Linka Glatter has a couple episodes of Twin Peaks under her belt, if I'm not mistaken.
Were they the good episodes?
Actually, yes.
I'm sure they were, because this is as good as it gets. So this has every actress you can possibly ever imagine in your entire life. So it has Christina Ricci, Demi Moore, Rosie O'Donnell, Melanie Griffith, Thora Birch, Rita Wilson, Devon Sawa. Need I say more?
He is both
Devon
my favorite
Sawa.
mother and my favorite daughter.
He's the love interest in this, as you might imagine. And so all these friends spend a summer together as kids, and then they vow that they'll come back if anything ever happens when they're older as adults, and then it's the bond that they share.
I will say this is a good pick just because it obviously, like, you can see it. Two generations can watch it and get something
absolutely
out of it at the same time.
And I think
So
that
a
even
mom
notches
can
it up
watch
a bit.
So I don't know. I think
Totally.
that's good, even though it's not necessarily mothers and daughters within the movie
It's a
itself.
movie that you should share with your daughter in middle school age.
I like it.
I might have a similar movie coming later in my list.
Interesting.
Similar.
So that's my number 4 to middle school. So where does that take you to number 4?
So my number 4 takes us to Belgium, in fact, for a 2015 documentary called No Home Movie, directed by Chantal Akerman, who's shown up on a couple of my lists at this point. The excellent Belgian filmmaker. This was her last film. The movie is her, like, sort of very on-the-fly video diary of the time she spent with her mother over the last few months of her mother's life. And we don't know that her mother is dying. Like, it's not clear that that's going to happen, like, in any sort of way, but it's sort of clear, like, her mom's not going to be around a lot longer. So the film basically takes the form of Akerman, like Chantal Akerman, the director, trying to, like, have conversations with her mother and really get to understand the person her mother was and sort of deal with the fact that she hasn't always had the best relationship with her mother. She still doesn't have the best relationship with her mother, and it's very clear she won't ever have the best relationship because, you know, her mother's coming to the end of her life. So it's this, it's really just this very honest, piercing, very hard to watch story about just sort of someone trying to diagnose their own relationship with their parent kind of in real time. And it's a beautiful movie. It is a tremendously strong end to Chantal Akerman's very, very great career. Not a fun movie to watch, but it is, I cannot think of a better like documentary as memoir in recent years, and it just really, really moved me a lot.
Say the name again.
No Home Movie.
No Home Movie.
A few listeners had wrote in about that one.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, no, that's one I think probably worth saying too.
You're not selling me on it with the description, but I can
also, there is a funny clown who makes balloon animals.
I don't need any funny.
Devon Sawa makes an appearance.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
Devon Sawa actually is Chantal Akerman's mom.
Oh, see, that's all you had to say.
And her mom is a Holocaust survivor.
Oh.
so that does that make it more exciting?
Wait, but is that real?
Yeah, her mom's really
I thought you were
Holocaust
mocking me again.
Her
Okay.
mom is a survivor of Auschwitz.
That helps a little bit.
It makes it more appealing.
So yeah, that's your number 4.
That's my number 4.
My number 4 takes us probably the rest of the way a little bit of strained relationships. I think mothers and daughters have some challenges sometimes. This one is of the animated variety, where the daughter makes a wish and it brings a little bit of chaos into her life.
No
and she has
idea.
to rely on her
Snow
bravery.
White and the Seven Dwarfs.
No. Brave.
Haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Brave?
You haven't seen Brave?
I thought we saw it together.
No, I never saw
It's a Pixar movie.
It's a Pixar.
I know. I haven't seen it.
It's the one where the mom turns into a bear.
I've heard about it, and she has the cute hair. I really like her hair. The red.
The hair was like the big technological achievement of that.
Yeah.
Looks sweet. No, it's a strained relationship. I think the daughter and the mom learned something, I think they both learned.
Why does she turn into a bear?
Because the daughter is a little brat who's tired of being over-controlled by her mother, and she basically says, like, I wish you'd turn into a bear, but not like in those words, but
that's
close.
what happens.
It's magic.
And then bippity-boppity-boo.
It's Celtic magic.
Okay.
And then has to ultimately try to save her mom from being killed by the villagers and everything like that. Because So I think it's very heartwarming. It's a great. I think you and Abby, I know, have been had some tension now, just because you're not going to let her have the phone that my parents got her.
Yeah, get this. Rob's parents.
God Almighty.
Yeah. Rob's parents come into town. They flip in and out every few months or so, and they always come with some gift. And it's always like some absurd gift. She's 6. Our kid's 6. They came with a phone. I was like,
a phone or a
no,
toy
it's like
phone?
a VTech phone, but I'm like really opposed to all of that, and it like can text, and I'm like, nope, it's going away.
Like actually text.
I think
like send text.
It's like over Wi-Fi you can direct it to
over
just
over
our
Wi-Fi.
phone.
I'm morally opposed to all of this, and so now your dad cornered me right before this episode, and he was like, "Hello, Karusha. Just so you know, I think it's a good idea that she has the phone." And I just don't want to make her sad. So and I was like, I'll think about it.
So when Abby wishes you to turn into a bear, before that happens, sit down, let's watch this with her, and then she'll understand the repercussions of such a wish.
That's right. Good to know. I've broken the phone. I've hidden the phone already, by the way. I really do want to see this. I don't know how I've missed it.
I thought you had
really
it. We own it.
We do?
Yes, we own it.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
We do?
Yes, I'll show you later.
Okay.
Okay. Number 40 or 3 to you.
3
Go
to
ahead,
me.
Tim. You had some
I was
thoughts?
just going to say, like, interesting thing about Brave, it was actually conceived of as specifically director Brenda Chapman was going to like try to make a movie about her experience having a mother and how that sort of made her reevaluate her experiences having been a daughter. And this proved to be too something or other for Pixar, so they very splashily fired her, replaced her with Mark Andrews, who made it a adventure film, like this really weird graft of like this movie about mothers and daughters, and like, but there's also slapstick, and the parts that got added later clearly don't work. So that's just the thing to keep in mind about.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I noticed that like 3 directors listed, Steve Purcell also. So yeah, that provides a little bit more context. That's too bad. I think I would have enjoyed watching Brenda Chapman's
Brenda Chapman's film would have been better.
Yeah,
it just would have been a better film. But it's a good film as it stands. Very pretty.
Number 3, do you care?
Speaking of pretty, back to me.
Yep.
Gonna learn
thinking about the hat. The hat's making me really confident right now. I can
Good.
feel that. So
I'm glad you had the hat on this night when you have gone so wildly far into
people
the
agree with me. People are going to agree with me here because now I'm going to take you into high school. Okay. Right. This is a movie that you should watch with your high school. Things tend to get a little bit tumultuous, a little bit rough in high school, I want to drive the car, no, you can't, I want to go to this party, no, you can't.
I want to smoke the marijuana cigarettes. Right?
Not from personal experience on my own end, but I've heard that exists in the high school environment. So this one is actually, I think this one might be on both of your lists potentially, but this brings us to high school. 17-year-old Lady Bird.
On my list, number 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit of a recency probably factor playing into my pick, but yeah.
I don't think so, though.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I don't know. This was such a great movie, and this is Greta Gerwig who wrote and directed this one. If you missed it, it's Saoirse Ronan, Laurie Metcalf from Roseanne is in this, Tracy Letts, Lucas Hedges, Timothée Chalamet, who got all the good stuff from...
all the good
Call
stuff.
Me by in a different way than Tim's alluding.
He gave some good stuff to a peach.
I still miss that. It was such a good movie. But anyway, I've lost my train of thought. So this is the story of a 17-year-old girl named Christine who's named herself Lady Bird. And so she goes off and she's longing for something more than her life, like everybody is when you're in high school. Like, what am I going to go out? What am I going to do? What am I going to explore? And so... it's a story of her experiences in high school with her friends, as well as the main focal point is the story with her mom, Laurie Metcalf, and it's their relationship, which is strained. It's a strained relationship. And so, but it's strained with love. I think this wasn't my own personal mom experience, but you can feel it. You're watching this movie and you're like, I had friends that had this experience with their mom, or it's probably more typical than not to have the tension with your mom as you're growing up. So I thought this was a great movie and one worth seeing with your high schooler girl.
Yeah, you captured it. The only thing the reason why I might have left it off was because everybody knows it's a love story to Sacramento as well too. So, but I think the focus of the movie really comes back to the relationship between the mom and the daughter.
Yeah.
And, highlights that in a really, really nice way.
Yeah,
really
if you missed this last year,
age.
it's worth it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, you cannot like it.
Yeah, Tim's the one who brought it down from 100 from 100% to 99%.
No, I gave it a positive review.
You gave it 3 stars.
I gave it 3.5.
3.5.
Very sort of felt forced into
You're
it.
3.24.
It's really more like a 3.24.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can see that in your face.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my number 3 high school year pick.
Cool. So that makes it my number 3. Yes,
that's right.
So I'm gonna stick in California, very specifically in California, with the very, very excellent 1945 film noir Mildred Pierce, which is a film directed by Michael Curtiz based on a novel by James M. Cain. This is the story about a woman named Mildred Pierce who very early on in the film we discover she has a very unpleasant marriage to this very boring sack of shit man, and he leaves her and she's left alone with their 2 daughters, and she decides to make ends meet by opening a restaurant basically, and there's all sorts of crime and misery and all sorts of good stuff, but the crux of it always returns back to the relationship between Mildred and her daughter Vita, played by Anne Blythe, who is a 16-year-old. This is right around the time that teenagers are starting to emerge as a recognized social class. So Vita is this just repulsive little monster. Nothing is appealing or redeeming about her character whatsoever. She makes terrible choices about men. She's haughty. She's greedy. She's just a little shit. It's impossible to watch this movie and feel anything positive about this character. But she's Mildred's daughter. So Mildred spends the entire movie sacrificing everything, making every
mothers do.
Possible choice to make sure that Vita can live the life she wants to live, when this is constantly coming at a cost to Mildred herself. And part of the tragedy of the story is seeing Mildred just over and over again beating herself against the rocks for this just wretched little child. And that sort of makes it more of a character story than just a crime thriller, which it could easily be just a very nice crime thriller, but it's really one of the best film noirs of the 40s, I'd say, in large part because of that sort of boiling toxic relationship between the mother and the daughter at the center of it.
I'm interested just on the mother-daughter side, and the fact that it's a film noir. I'm interested how the mystery of that wraps around into the movie. So I haven't seen this one.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, no. But I'm excited.
There's a body.
Recently done as a miniseries.
Yeah, a few years back.
I remember hearing
Todd
something
Haynes
about
did it as a 6-episode miniseries. Not his best work. It's more faithful adaptation of the book, but it's frankly a little bit pacey. I find it okay, but it drags. The movie's really snug, really nice and tight.
I'm more interested to see if the kid's really a jerk or if it's just Tim.
Well,
no, the kid's a jerk.
I feel like Mildred's the kind of mom who would have purchased the VTech phone though. So.
Stop. Just stop.
Yes. No question about that.
Yeah. You know what? When our 7-year-old is sexting, yeah, I'm going to come to you.
And Mildred would deal with that because Vita would be sexting as a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
She's just the worst.
See, it's going to be on Rob for the demise of our family. So no, I'm throwing it in the garbage, just so you know.
Well, Carrie took my number 3, so we're now to your number 2.
Number 2?
Yep.
Okay. This is the one that you watch with your mom when you're married and your life feels a little bleak.
You still haven't learned what you do.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. That's right. When you're not sure how your kids got made, this is where you go.
Look who's talking too.
That's right. If we weren't clear in the first time, we'll show you again. This one is where you go with your mom. I would totally watch this with my mom, I think. Maybe. It might be too sad. I don't know. Hard to say. But if you've got a strong stomach for sadness and you're married and life's feeling a little, married, watch 1989's Steel Magnolias.
All right. Legit.
Yeah?
No, the
on your list?
mothers and daughters in there. No.
Mothers and daughters. Lots of mothers, lots of daughters.
I want it on my list. I need to rewatch it.
I've never seen it at all.
Yeah.
In your whole life?
In my whole life.
How is this possible?
Because I'm a boy.
Oh.
Didn't have a mother to show it to me when I was a grown adult.
But you have a very nice mother who should have shown. Oh, yeah. She probably was like, this isn't something that Tim would like.
I'd have to watch it with my dad, and my dad only shows me
Your dad wouldn't have
He only
liked
shows
this.
me 30s women's pictures, never new women's pictures.
Yeah. So this is not a movie, again, to meet my criteria. Never watch this with your father. My dad would have hated this movie.
You caught up with this recently, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. For the top 5 moms, I was like, I got to get this under my belt. So this is directed by Herbert Ross and written by Robert Harling. This takes place in a small town in Louisiana, and it's this group of women who have this tight-knit group of older women, and they're focused the story on the wedding of their daughter, who's played by what's her face?
Julie Roberts.
Julie Roberts. Yeah. I couldn't think of her name off the top of my head. And her mom is Sally Field in this movie. Such a good. I can't even tell you how wonderful her acting was in this. But she goes in and it's her wedding, and unfortunately Julie Roberts is like not particularly healthy, and so it's the story of like her wedding and becoming a mom amidst being not really particularly healthy. It's just intense. It's every worst fear you could ever have as a mom, like your kid not being.
Does Julie Roberts get dropped into a pit of snakes?
No, it's worse.
Nothing's worse than a pit of snakes.
She's diabetic. Yeah.
She can't have her own wedding cake.
It sounds really dramatic, but it's more dramatic in the movie, and it will crush your soul forever in your whole life.
I thought you didn't like sad movies.
Yeah, this is kind of like a little off type for you.
This is why I'm saying you got to be married. You got to feel the pain.
You got to hate life so much that the thought of dying and have a diabetic coma sounds like a plus.
It seems like an option. And that's why you watch this with your mom, and then she can talk you out of it. So there's that.
All right.
So love you over there. Love you. Really enjoying being married to you.
Love you too.
Yeah, thanks. So that's my number 2. Never watch it before you're married.
All right.
Yeah.
So my number 2, naturally enough, takes us to the world of British realist dramas. So this is 1996's Secrets and Lies.
Sounds familiar.
Written and directed by Mike Leigh. It was a Best Picture nominee. It is the story of a woman who gave up her daughter for adoption the moment the child was born. And the daughter has grown up to be this very well-educated professional woman. Her name is Hortense. She's played by Marianne Jean-Baptiste. And she decides to go find her birth mother.
Okay.
And her birth mother is Cynthia, played by Brenda Blethyn. And if you know Brenda Blethyn, you pretty much immediately understand, this is like a blousy, out-of-control, working-class like woman with a disastrous family. Which, sure enough, the family is a disaster. And Hortense, like, inserting herself into this family dynamic kind of makes everything even more dysfunctional and wrong. And yet the mother and daughter still sort of find some way to kind of derive a measure of strength from each other, even though it would probably have been better if they had not ever met again. Great movie. One of the best movies of the 1990s, without a shadow of a doubt. Two phenomenal performances by Brenda. I mean, many phenomenal performances, but Brenda Blethyn and Marianne Jean-Baptiste are just outstanding in this film.
What is it again?
It's Secrets and Lies.
Secrets
it's a Mike
and
Leigh
Lies.
film.
Secrets and Lies.
It's almost certainly Mike Leigh's best known films in the United States. Really smart, really honest about people, not as like crazy ass depressing as most Mike Leigh films tend to be. His films tend to be pretty like heavy and dark and bleak. And this is serious, but it doesn't have that same sense of like hopelessness. There is a feeling that maybe something is not completely like incapable of good coming out of this scenario.
But it ends well?
It ends
they end up together?
Open. It ends open.
Oh, one of those. It's like a broken flower situation.
Let me put it this way. It doesn't end badly, which makes it ending well for a Mike Leigh film.
Okay.
That's it. I have not seen a single Mike Leigh film. I don't know how that's possible.
I don't know why on earth you would have ever seen a Mike Leigh film.
Okay, good. All right, so I shouldn't feel
not
bad.
A blind spot.
You should. They're
Mr.
masterpieces,
All right.
one and all, but they're not your thing.
Mr. Turner?
Mr. Turner would be a Mike Leigh film.
Yeah, but masterpiece?
Oh, yeah.
He's a painter.
Well, it is a masterpiece, so the joke's on you.
Yeah, I guess I think catch up on a little Mike Leigh.
You got to see the Topsy-Turvy.
Topsy-Turvy is on the list.
Secrets and Lies is very good.
You're going to write this down because I'm not retaining any of this, right?
Naked is very good.
Okay.
Naked is?
Naked is good.
Okay.
Well, I went with the ultimate
Is this
strained.
your number one?
No, number two.
Okay.
Ultimate strained relation. Doesn't get much more strained than this.
Give me a clue.
So, it's
Is this a pasta joke?
It's in your name, Carrie. It's in your name. The movie is Carrie.
Oh.
1976. Carrie.
This isn't a
It's a
mother-daughter
mother-daughter
movie.
movie.
This is
Absolutely.
100% a mother-daughter movie.
I was hoping this would be our potential overlap, Tim, but it did not.
I don't particularly like Carrie.
Oh, you don't like Carrie?
Not especially.
Okay. But you were open to strained relationships and not
I
necessarily.
don't like the
being
movie
opposite.
either.
I was waiting. I just waiting.
you're just
I could
sitting
feel
there
you looking at me, and I was like, okay, well, if I don't make the joke, I'm going to let her down.
Then
so
she's
I
just
better
going to
say
keep
it.
staring at me and smirking at me awkwardly until I say
So
it.
young Carrie, played by Sissy
Well done.
Spacek, Carrie White. Mom, played by Piper Laurie, Margaret White. Mom's a little bit of a religious fanatic and
A little bit.
kind of punitive
Sure.
towards young Carrie.
Sure.
Who has a gift, and that gift is
Kinetic,
made.
right?
No, I don't think it's genetic.
Kinetic.
Oh, kinetic. Yes, it is kinetic. So I've got the head.
Telekinetic.
Telekinetic.
That too.
Yeah, made worse and provoked by her mom throughout the entirety of the movie until her powers are unleashed. But yeah, I think a great representation, not in a positive way, but it really
Doesn't all have to be good.
It doesn't all have to be good. I think it's a great movie, and that showcases that with mothers and daughters at the focal point of it. So yeah, that was my number two.
That was your number two? Okay.
Excited about number one. I'm excited.
For your number
Yeah, I'm
one?
excited about it.
Any chance of overlap for anybody?
I don't know if either of you have seen this movie.
I will bet $1,000 that neither one of you have seen or possibly even heard of the movie. That is my number one.
Okay.
Really?
Rob has probably heard of it because I think it was on some lists on the site.
Okay.
Okay.
So I won't bet $1,000.
So I will bet $0 that this is not on your list, but I bet
Yeah,
maybe
where are we in life now?
we're at death.
Oh.
Or death.
So
You're
you
about
just,
to
you
die.
just skipped over like the fun part where you and your mom are both old ladies and you go like out for coffee and
Yeah.
shit.
So you went like 25 years and then the rest of life.
Right when you're about to
Yeah.
die, this is the movie to watch with your mom.
Although
Okay.
since we've already discussed, given that Carrie lives with you, that could literally be like 5 minutes from now.
You never know. No. I love this movie. Yeah, watch it with your mom right when you're about to die. My whole
When you're
goal,
about to die or when she's about to die?
me when I'm about to die.
So you assume you're going to predecease your mother.
That's my plan.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be
I mean,
much
I
too
don't blame you.
devastating
If
to
I had your
deal.
life, I don't think I could possibly make it into my 30s.
Absolutely. 40s max. And I actually can't imagine my mom going before me. So my whole plan is to go out before her, just so you know, Rob. But
Take care of it.
okay.
All right.
Good.
But let
So-
her know because she's going to watch a movie first.
quickly this one but I'll have seen it lots of times.
All right.
But I'll want to watch it again just to make sure I'm refreshed on all the fried green tomatoes.
All
Nice.
right.
Have you seen this?
Never seen this movie.
I had a feeling you might not have. I think it might be your favorite movie of all time.
It
is so
good.
good.
Assume that it is.
It's a little bit of a noir.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. But here's what it is. Do you know who John Avnet is?
Yes, but I can't think of why.
Because he directed it, and
But
he's
he's
the most
directed
famous
other
director
things
of all
as
time. Written by Fanny Flagg. It's a book. It was based on a book.
I
So
think Fanny, wasn't she like one of the routine contestants on a Match Game in the 1970s?
it could be.
I think
It
she
could be. She
was.
was actually very talented. She did lots of things.
I'm not saying she's not
She
talented.
wrote lots of movies and was
Match
on
Game was a good show.
The
I
Match
liked it.
Game. So this starred Kathy Bates as Evelyn Couch. Last name, little strange. Jessica Tandy's in this. Do you know who she is?
Yeah,
Of course I know who Jessica Tandy is.
Okay. Mary Stuart Masterson.
All right.
Okay. Mary Louise Parker also in this movie. You love her.
I do.
I know. So, it's really hard to even like possibly think of explaining everything that happens in this movie. But basically, this housewife played by Kathy Bates goes and she's unhappy with her life and she befriends an older woman,
Oh, John Avnet is awful.
like awfully good.
He made 88 Minutes and Righteous Kill.
And Red Corner.
Continue.
But then he made this movie.
Well, no, he made this movie prior.
See, yeah.
he lost it.
He
He
peaked.
didn't gain.
He
He
peaked.
peaked. He peaked
So then so she goes out and she befriends this older woman in a nursing home and is enthralled by the tales of her life and the adventures that she had along the way. So it's this whole flashback thing where she goes back, but her life is everything that your life should be in terms of like the ups and downs and the challenges and like sweaty hot summer type situations.
Ah, yes.
Which sounds weird, but you have to watch this movie to fully understand it. And I don't think I'd want to live my life any other way than Jessica Tandy.
Who fries the green tomatoes?
Jessica Tandy.
I see. For
But her
Kathy Bates.
so it flashes back. No, that's the thing. So it flashes back. They're in the nursing
Does
home.
she always say, one of these days, Kathy, I'll make you fried green tomatoes? And then she buys the green tomatoes, and then she finds out that Jessica Tandy's dead. And she drops the tomatoes, and they like splatter all over the floor of the nursing home.
that didn't happen that way. But no, that doesn't actually happen.
Damn it.
But she does bring her some fried green tomatoes. Kathy Bates does because she's very considerate. But at the same time, Kathy Bates is becoming one of herself. She's not very confident, but like she's growing through hearing the stories about her life growing up. Her story was so tragic and awesome and awful and wonderful at the same time. You have to see this.
I apparently do.
It's a miss. I don't even really know how you're a film critic without this.
Well, I saw it when it came out. I remember thinking very highly of.
7 when it came out.
It was 9.
How did you didn't even say the year? How do you know when it came
I
out,
know
weirdo?
Because it's a movie that was like a gigantic like zeitgeist thing in
How
1989.
do you remember this stuff?
I don't know, because I was 8. So
You're
I
a
was over
bizarre
that one.
person to me. I
Thank
didn't
you.
even say the
No, it
year.
came out in 91. It came out in
91.
91. Came out in 91.
And no, I
Beast year.
remember liking a little Mary Stewart.
I think it might
Yeah.
have been. I think
But
it
that's
might
all I
have
remember.
had
I
an
remember
acting
being
the one that
sad.
she's the one that got sick, right? Mary Stuart
Well,
Masterson.
let's not ruin it for
Oh no,
those that
so
haven't
she
seen it.
doesn't.
I don't know.
But like,
It's
she
a
gets
27-year-old
She
movie.
gets
You can
better.
spoil
She gets better.
27-year-old. Do the fried green tomatoes have natural healing properties?
You'll have to find out.
Okay.
But there's like there's so many implications in this movie. Oh, it was so good. You'll never be the same after you see it. So watch it before we come back next week.
Okay. I will make. I mean, it fits our topic for next week, if I'm not mistaken.
See this with your mom.
All right.
Number 1.
So my number 1 is a movie that you should never, ever watch with your mom because she will assume you despise her, and she would probably be right. My number 1 is Autumn Sonata, 1978, the only film that Ingmar Bergman and Ingrid Bergman, who are not related in any way, shape, or form, although they're the two most famous people in the history of the Swedish film industry. The only film they made together, it was Ingrid Bergman's last film, and I believe her first film in Sweden in like decades. And it's the story of a woman played by Liv Ullmann, whose mother is a internationally beloved pianist, very famous around the world, very, very well known. And her daughter just wants to have anything resembling a relationship with her mother. And there has been too much years of neglect, too many years of the mother just sort of going all around Europe, going all around the world playing piano, leaving the daughter, and there's just nothing there to build on. And there's just no no chance of redeeming this situation that has like turned fallow and rotten over the years. And so we watched that happen for 2 hours. And it's very good.
Sounds very good.
It's very upbeat.
Yeah.
It's probably even more fun than the movie you were talking about where they where it's the funny movie with the old guy trying to get to Kansas.
Oh.
It's probably even funnier than
hang on.
than
What's that one? Kodachrome, yeah.
No, it's a Ingmar Bergman film. It is shattering. You will feel like you have just been like drained of blood and had it all replaced with ice water. It is not fun. It is brutal. One of his last like capital G great movies. He didn't make too many movies after this. He mostly went to sort of TV work after this, if I'm not mistaken. I think Fanny and Alexander was a few years later than this. But yeah, Autumn Sonata, punishing movie. Fucking just punishing movie, but really great. Ingrid Bergman's one of her very best performances, maybe even her single best performance. And Liv Ullmann, of course, is always wonderful. So.
You've never seen this. You missed the mark by 2 years, right?
No, I have not seen this movie. But yeah.
You'd love it.
Yeah,
You'd
really.
both love it. It's right down both of your alleys. It's also subtitled. I don't know if I said that part.
You just keep selling me.
know, right?
Selling me. I'll watch that and you watch
these
Fried
really
Green Tomatoes.
harsh, austere shades of brown to sort of reflect the title.
I love austere shades of brown.
It looks lifeless. It looks like the movie itself is dead.
Gosh.
All right.
Yeah.
Great movie. Masterpiece.
Sounds good. Everyone race out there and see that.
But actually race out there and see it.
Mine a little different for number one. It is a movie where I think this was the one I was alluding to, Carrie, when you were talking about kind of multi-generational or kind of reflecting back.
Sure.
This movie does that with mothers and daughters particularly in mind. Focuses on the Asian culture.
Okay.
So, I'm talking about 1993's The Joy Luck Club.
Oh, okay.
No.
You've seen it, Tim?
I have not.
Okay, I thought maybe based on what you were saying, I don't think this would have made it in front of you for viewing. But yeah, it's the life history of Asian women and their daughters as they reflect back and guide each other. Some pitfalls, some highs and lows, some good choices, some bad choices, and they try to help guide their young daughters to not making the same mistakes that
What
their
year
moms
did you say?
1993.
Oh, this is old.
Oh yeah, but it sticks with me.
I've heard the.
It's a novel by based on the novel by Amy Ta, I think, and she's done a number of different
genre.
Genres.
Happy, sad.
It's sad.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
Oh, it's sad.
Famously
Okay.
sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you don't want. I mean, it's just a story of parenting, right? You don't want your kids to fall into the same mistakes that you did, and that's what they're trying to have for their daughters, is not make the same mistakes, not going into a bad marriage or a lifeless marriage, and that's one of the stories. And there's some heartwarming things in there. I think you and your mom sitting down to watch this, I think
This would have
with a
made my
glass of
list.
Chardonnay, I think you would enjoy this.
Oh, you shouldn't. I'm not a Chardonnay person.
I know.
I think for Autumn Sonata, you'd want to sit down with like a glass of
Bourbon.
of rubbing alcohol.
A glass of absinthe. Poured to the
not
top.
nearly strong enough. No, you need something that's like 48%
All right.
alcohol.
Okay.
Well, every week we ask you to share your picks and thoughts for a chance to win a free Amazon movie rental. Based on the results, here are your top 5 picks. At number 5, we had Brave. So others enjoying the animated version. This is kind of like a Carrie move here on number 4, Aliens.
Loved it. Love that
Mother-daughter.
pick.
I'm surprised
Love
you
that
didn't
pick.
have
Mother-daughter is an important thing. It's one of the main through lines. Is it the primary thing? I think that's debatable, but it's debatable, which it's not just clearly not. So I think that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, as I was reading up on it, I forgot that Ripley's whole thing at the
That's
beginning.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like her daughter's dead. She finds the adopted daughter. There's the whole the end is kind of the symbolic fight between two mothers.
Would have
It's
watched
true.
it with my dad though, more than my mom. So
Yeah.
I couldn't pick it.
Yeah.
Steel Magnolias number 3, Care. So little actualization there for you.
Yes.
Imitation of Life. Have not seen that at number 2.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, that's an oversight.
Oh,
I
something you
fucked
would have.
up that one.
I don't know anything about it.
Imitation of Life, totally. It's a great movie. So it was remade. The one in the 50s is way the hell better than the one in the 30s. I don't know if that's a contentious statement or not. It's 2 women. One is a white businesswoman. One is her black housekeeper. They each have teenage daughters, and it's them sort of trying to cope with their daughters.
Good plot.
And the daughters are sort of not like the white daughter's kind of snobby, and it causes an issue. And it's a really great movie. The remake is 59, directed by Douglas Sirk, who's one of the great melodrama filmmakers. Oh, I can't believe I didn't think of that.
All right, this
Damn
is
it.
kind of like a little bit of a first here. And then number 1, Lady Bird. So people still enjoying the recency of that movie. By far, actually, a number 1 vote getter for folks writing in. Our lucky winner this week, Connie Constance Wozniak, who had Stepmom, Troop Beverly Hills, a favorite of a lot of
what's her name from Cheers?
Diane.
Diane. That's how I.
Shelley something.
Shelley Long.
Shelley Long.
Yes. Panic Room as well. God, Connie and I, we're in sync. And Brave and Steel Magnolias.
All right.
Constance, shoot us an email at contact@alternating.com for details on how to claim your free movie rental. If you want to win a free movie rental, like Constance, be on the lookout for our spoiler alert or top 5 movie posts on Facebook and Twitter to share your favorite picks. In closing, thanks everybody for listening. Check us out on social media. Go out to our Facebook page and like it. Check us out on Twitter where we're retweeting all the time. Carrie's going to be maybe posting some photos on Instagram as well too. The hat. Where's the hat going?
Where's the hat? Where's
the
fascinator
go? The Flonator going?
I don't know. I'll find a place for it somewhere on social media.
Go out to our website, alternatending.com, where you can find all of our movie reviews, podcasts, and blogs and more. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google, and don't forget about our Patreon. With Book Club hitting theaters next week, we'll be reviewing our top 5 geriatric movies. So,
which I don't know how I quite feel about that. It's
wrong title?
movie. I mean, it's a movie about old people. Geriatric movies. I mean, maybe it's a geriatric movie.
I was just trying to keep it short.
I get that.
I think originally we had like a placeholder for like movies about people who are old.
Because it's a movie. Yeah, I think that is exactly what it. Well, because the movie's about old people who read a book for young people to get sexy, and they get sexy.
Is that what the movie's about?
Yeah, they read 50 Shades of Grey. That's the book club is reading.
Oh, dear God.
So it's about Candace
You
Bergen
guys all have to read that before
Diane.
the episode.
We tried to have a tie-in somehow. I just wanted to talk about movies featuring old people.
I want to talk about movies where Diane Keaton is feeling sexy.
And there's more than 5 of those.
We'll catch you then.